Hi there, my name is Hayden, and today I will be attempting to beat a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Platinum using only Electric-type Pokemon. The rules are simple. I can only capture the first Electric-type Pokemon I encounter in any given area. I can catch other Pokemon for things like HMs as long as I don't use them in battle. If a Pokemon faints during battle, they have to permanently be put in the PC. I can't use items during battle, although held items are okay, as well as using items outside of battle. The battle mode is set, so I can't switch my Pokemon after knocking out the opponent's Pokemon. And finally, I cannot overlevel the next gym leader's ace. I'm also using the Dupes Clause, so I cannot use multiple Pokemon in the same evolutionary line. So let's see what electric types are available to us. We only have 7 options throughout the entire game, so we can't let any more than one faint if we want to have a full team for the Pokemon League. The 7 fully evolved electric types in the Sinnoh Dex are Luxray, Pachirisu, Rotom, Jolteon, Raichu, Magnezone, and Electivire. However, Electabuzz only evolves into Electivire via trade, which means we won't be able to evolve it into its full form. A major problem that I can already see with this lineup is the lack of secondary types. Rotom is part Ghost and Magnezone is part Steel, but the other 5 are all pure electric, which means we won't get much type coverage, and Rotom is the only Pokemon that isn't weak to ground. Nevertheless, I think we can do it. So let's get started. I leave Twinleaf Town and meet Professor Rowan, who gives me the choice of Turtwig, Chimchar, or Piplup, but none of them are electric types. I pick Piplup since the rival is supposed to pick the starter with the type advantage, and Turtwig gains the ground type when fully evolved. I actually lose the first battle against my rival, but that doesn't matter because the challenge hasn't really started yet. I find this blue-haired guy mumbling about time and space, but I'm sure he won't be important to the story. I go to Sandgem Town where Professor Rowan gives me a Pokédex and the TM for return. Dawn teaches me how to catch Pokemon, and now I can get my first electric type, a Shinx, which I name Lioness. Now that I have Shinx, I put Piplup in the PC. I grind for a few levels against wild Pokemon and trainers to get Lioness to level 9 before reaching Jubilife City. The rival fight actually takes a few tries because Starly uses Growl to lower my attack and I can't switch out to reset my stats. I get up to level 11 before I can take him out. Now I can go to Orberg City and meet the gym leader, Rourke. This is going to be our first major roadblock in the challenge. Even when I reach the level cap of 14, Lioness only has access to normal and electric type attacks. Rock types resist normal types, and Rourke's Onix and Geodude are also ground types, which are completely immune to electric types. After a couple of attempts, I can't even take out Rourke's first Pokemon. So, is it possible to beat a Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke with only electric type Pokemon? No. Anyway, thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, hold on. You've probably figured out from the length of the video that I'm not actually giving up yet. I train Lioness up to level 18, and during that time she evolves into Luxio and learns Bite. I know that being at a higher level than the gym leader is technically breaking the hardcore Nuzlocke rules, but this video would be pretty underwhelming if I actually just gave up at this point. With access to Bite now, I go back to Rourke's gym and sweep through his team pretty easily to earn the Coal Badge. The next gym is in Eterna City. On the way there, I join Dawn in a double battle against Team Galactic where I am hilariously overleveled. I'm actually a little worried about Lioness reaching the level cap for Gardenia's gym too early because I don't want to overlevel the gym like I did for Rourke. Luckily, I don't have far to go before getting my next encounter. On the way to Eterna City, I catch a Pachirisu outside of the Valley Windworks, which I name Patches. Lioness takes out Team Galactic in the Valley Windworks and reaches level 22. As I go through Eterna Forest, Patches leads the team to catch up with Lioness and get ready for the gym. In Eterna City, I take out all of the gym trainers and reach Gardenia. However, grass types resist electric type attacks, so this is going to be another tough gym. This gym takes even more attempts than Rourke's, and I eventually have to accept that I'm going to need to overlevel again. Lioness gets to level 23, and Patches gets to level 25 before I can finally take Gardenia out and obtain the Forest Badge. I'm happy that I can move on with the game, but I've now had to pass the level cap for both of the first 2 gyms, and I really don't want to make a habit of this. Before I continue on with the story, it's time to go get my third team member. With the gym badge obtained, I can use Cut outside a battle to get into the old chateau in Eterna Forest. After changing the clock on my computer to trick the game into thinking it's nighttime, I can interact with the TV to encounter a Rotom, which I catch and name TV. Now with TV acquired, I return to Eterna City to deal with Team Galactic. I make my way to the top floor to battle Commander Jupiter. Her Zubat goes down to a single Spark, and Skuntank goes down to a few attacks from Patches and Lioness. After freeing the bike shop owner from Team Galactic, I can get a bike and take Cycling Road towards Hearthome City. In Hearthome City, I visit Amity Square and the contest hall before going to the gym. Before battling Fantina, I get Lioness and Patches up to the level cap of 26, and for once, I don't have to get them above the level cap. Lioness takes out Duskull without taking any damage, and uses a Lumberry to deal with Haunter's Hypnosis. I take out a good amount of Miss Magius' health, and then switch to Patches to finish her off, earning me the Relic Badge. Before leaving Hearthome City, I meet BB and get an Eevee. I actually could have gotten this encounter before the gym, but I forgot to. I name him Eon Jr. after my Espeon from my previous Nuzlocke video. If you haven't watched that one, you should check it out. Because Eevee is a normal type, I can't use him in battle until he evolves into a Jolteon. On my way out of Hearthome City, I have to battle my rival. Staravia and Weasel both go down without too much trouble, but his Grottle is really annoying to deal with because of Withdraw. I manage to take him out, but all three of my viable Pokemon get extremely close to fainting. My next destination is Salacion Town. In the Salacion Ruins, I find a few items, including the HM for Defog and a Thunderstone, which I use to evolve Eon Jr. into a Jolteon. There's not much more to do here, so I continue on to Veilstone City. I stop by the department store and get the TM for Thunder so that EJ can have an electric type attack. During a battle with one of the trainers in Veilstone Gym, Lioness reaches level 30 and evolves into Luxray. I clear out all the gym trainers and move right on to the gym leader Maylene, who goes down pretty easily and gives me the Cobble Badge. When I leave the gym, Dawn tells me that her Pokedex got stolen by Team Galactic, so I go to their hideout to help her retrieve it. While I'm there, I get the HM for Fly. I head south from Veilstone City, past Valor Lakefront, and make my way to Pastoria City. There's a rival battle here, and the 5th gym, but I'm just passing through for now. I continue to Route 212 and go to the mansion on the other side of the swamp. I can find Pichu or Pikachu in the back garden, and I'm hoping for Pikachu. I really hate friendship-based evolutions because it takes so long to raise a Pokemon's friendship, so I want to avoid having to evolve Pichu, and of course. I catch Pichu and name him Electro Rat. I also catch a Staravia so that I can use Fly to get back to Pastoria City and battle my rival outside of the gym. Like the previous battle with him, all of his Pokemon go down without any trouble, except Grottle, who requires a team effort between Lioness and EJ. The Pastoria City gym is pretty easy. The gym leader Wake is a Water-type specialist, which gives my Electric types a huge advantage. I take some time to battle every gym trainer to gain some extra XP, and now it's time for the battle with Wake. His Gyarados is quad weak to Electric, so it goes down to a single hit. And next up is Quagsire. This is the one Pokemon in his team that I'm worried about since it's a ground type, but Lioness and TV can take it out. Wake's last Pokemon is Floatzel, who goes down to just a single Thunderfang, and I now have the Fen badge. After beating the gym leader, I need to help deal with Team Galactic at the Great Marsh. I chase this grunt all the way to Valor Lakefront before he stops running and challenges me to a battle. His Pokemon goes down in a single hit before Cynthia shows up and gives me the secret potion to move the Psyduck, which are blocking the path to Celestic Town. I use Defog to make the route easier to navigate, and get to Celestic Town while avoiding most of the trainers. When I get there, I have to deal with Team Galactic once again. Cyrus shows up and tells me about his evil plan. Then he challenges me to a battle, but he goes down pretty quickly. I get the HM for Surf, and can go to Canalave City to challenge the 6th gym. But before that, I fly to Floaroma Town and surf upriver to the Fuego Ironworks. There I can catch a Magnemite, which I nicknamed Magneto. Now I can go to Canalave City, but I need to train my Pokemon up before the rival battle on the bridge. Pikachu can learn Thunderbolt at level 26, so I need to make sure that Electro Rat evolves by then. It's a friendship-based evolution, so I do everything I can to make sure his friendship is high enough. Finally, I level him up to 26, and nothing. He doesn't end up evolving into a Pikachu until level 29. Now I need a Thunderstone to evolve him into Raichu, so I go to the underground, and it doesn't take me too long to find one. Oh. That's a Firestone, not a Thunderstone. It then takes me a very long time to find an actual Thunderstone, but I finally find it, and just as I'm excavating it, the wall collapses. I hate this. After spending literal hours in the underground, I accept that I am not going to find another Thunderstone, and I need to move on with the game. I go to the name rater in Eterna City to change Eon Jr.'s name to EJ, since that's what I've been calling him this whole time anyway, and I change Electro Rat's name to Bad Omen, since everything has gone wrong with this stupid rat. First I encountered it as a Pichu instead of a Pikachu, so I had to spend a ton of time getting it to evolve. Then it didn't evolve in time to learn Thunderbolt. Then I just barely missed out on the Thunderstone underground. I keep grinding to get Magneto up to level 30, where he evolves into a Magneton. Then I level him up again in Mount Coronet, where he evolves into a Magnezone. Everyone gets a few more levels to around mid to high 30s, and I take on my rival in Canalave. EJ takes out Staraptor and Rapidash, Magneto takes out Heracross and Floatzel, and Lioness takes out Torterra. I make my way through all the trainers in the gym and get to the gym leader Byron. His Magnemite goes down to a single dig from EJ, but now it's time for Steelix, and I'm very worried about this one. He's a ground type, which makes him immune to electric attacks, and he has Earthquake, which could easily destroy my entire team. I eventually come up with a plan. I correctly predict an Earthquake and switch to TV, who's immune to ground types thanks to Levitate. Now he won't use Earthquake because TV has Levitate, so I switch to Lioness to lower his attack with Intimidate. Then I switch to TV to avoid another Earthquake, switch to Lioness for another Intimidate, and do this over and over again. Once his attack is low enough, I switch to Magneto to use Screech to lower his defense. Even with a quad weakness to ground, Magneto only takes a small amount of damage from Earthquake because of Steelix's lowered attack. Now I switch to EJ and can take out Steelix and Bastiodon. This earns me the Mind badge, but also shows just how difficult it is for me to handle even a single strong ground type. Now that I have the badge, I stop by Iron Island and pick up the HM for Strength before heading to the library to meet up with the professor. An explosion shakes the entire region, so he sends me to Lake Valor to investigate. I avoid most of the Team Galactic grunts before facing Commander Saturn. His Toxicroak is pretty strong, which could be a problem, but I take him out nonetheless. Next, I go to Lake Verity to fight Commander Mars, who gives me a lot of trouble because of Hypnosis. She nearly knocks out 3 of my Pokemon with her Purugly. Now that I've cleared out Lakes Valor and Verity, the last remaining one is Lake Aquity up north. I can use Strength now to progress further through Mount Coronet, then trudge through some deep snow, finding the HM for Rock Climb along the way, before reaching Lake Aquity. But I need the gym badge from Candace before I can use Rock Climb outside of battle, so I continue on to Snow Point City. I battle all of the gym trainers as well as grind against wild Pokemon for a while to get a bit closer to the level of Candace's Pokemon before challenging her. Her Sneasel goes down to a double kick, and next up is Piloswine. This one could pose a similar problem to Byron's Steelix since it knows Earthquake, but Ice is weak to Steel, so I can just take it out with Flash Cannon from Magneto. Next up is Abomasnow, who gets Magneto down to just 8 HP. I make the incredibly risky decision to stay in and finish off Abomasnow with Flash Cannon, leveling up to level 42. The HP that I get from leveling up is just enough to counter the damage from Hail. Her last Pokemon is Frostlass. I switch to TV, but her Psychic is pretty strong, and I know TV won't be able to take her out. I want to switch to EJ to use Shadow Ball, but he will take some heavy damage from Blizzard on the switch. I need to sack one of my Pokemon to get a clean switch. Bad Omen the Pikachu has contributed nothing during this entire run so far, so I decide to let him go down. Sorry to say it, but Pikachu fainting was the first useful thing he's done this entire video. I can now safely switch to EJ to finish off Candace's last Pokemon and receive the Icicle badge. Before I can continue toward the 8th gym, I need to finish things up with Team Galactic. I use Rock Climb to get to Lake Aquity and find that I'm too late. All 3 Lake Guardians have already been captured. I fly to Veilstone City to infiltrate Team Galactic's secret hideout. After battling all of the grunts, I make my way to Cyrus's room. Magneto and EJ sweep through his team with no trouble at all, then EJ takes out Commander Saturn's team. I free the Lake Guardians and chase Cyrus to the peak of Mount Coronet. I use some repels to avoid any encounters to quickly make it to Spear Pillar. I battle Jupiter and Mars in a double battle with Barry before Cyrus summons Dialga and Palkia. Giratina shows up and sweeps Cyrus away to the Distortion World, and Cynthia and I, along with the Lake Guardians, jump in to stop Giratina. I navigate all the way to the bottom of the Distortion World and complete the Strength Puzzle to battle Cyrus. His Houndoom goes down to 2 digs from EJ, Weavile faints to a Flash Cannon from Magneto, and the rest of his Pokemon are flying types, which makes them all weak to electric, making for a pretty easy fight. Finally, there's nothing standing in the way between me and Giratina. But it's not an electric type, so I don't have any reason to catch it, so I just run from it. We abandon Cyrus in the Distortion World, and Cynthia and I return to the real world so I can continue to the final gym. The power outage in Sunyshore City has finally been fixed, so I can progress to Route 222. There, I can catch my final electric type encounter, Electabuzz. I use the Master Ball for a guaranteed catch and name him Thundercat. It feels silly to use the Master Ball on such a mundane Pokemon, but it's my last encounter of the game. If I don't use it now, I won't use it at all. I get to Sunyshore City and meet Volkner in the lighthouse. Just like I've done for nearly every gym now, I beat all of the trainers inside, and then grind against wild Pokemon until mine are closer to the level of Volkner's team. He and I both use exclusively electric-type Pokemon, so this is going to be a fairly even match. We both lead with Jolteon, but mine has a major advantage. EJ knows Dig, and uses it to take out Volkner's Jolteon and Electivire. He sends out Luxray next, so I send out my own Luxray, Lioness. I switch back and forth between Lioness and other Pokemon to activate Intimidate a few times before going back to EJ and using Dig. Volkner's final Pokemon is Raichu. I send out Thundercat, who gets down to just 1 HP and sets up Light Screen. Of all of my Pokemon, Patches is the one to take down Raichu. Yeah, bet you forgot about him. For most of the game, I've had to sacrifice 1 or 2 of my party slots to HM users, and Patches has usually been the one to give up his spot. In fact, I actually haven't mentioned him since the 3rd gym. Anyway, Volkner gives me the final gym badge, the Beacon badge, and I can head toward the Pokemon League. Jasmine from Olivine City in Johto shows up and gives me the HM for Waterfall. I surf north from Sunyshore City and enter Victory Road. I use some Max Repels, so it will be a bit easier to navigate without wild Pokemon, and I battle the trainers inside for some much needed XP before coming out the other end at the Pokemon League. Even though I'm here now, I'm not quite ready to challenge the Elite Four. Normally, the level cap is the next gym leader's ace. Since we've beaten all of the gym leaders, the level cap is now the level of the final Elite Four member's strongest Pokemon. In this case, that would be Lucian's level 59 Gallade. So, I grind in Victory Road for quite a while to get all of my team just below the level cap. I have a battle with my rival, and I don't want to accidentally reach level 60 during that battle. My Pokemon are actually quite a few levels higher than my rivals, so this isn't a very notable battle, and it's really not worth going over. Now that he's out of the way, I go back to Victory Road just to top off all of my Pokemon's levels. I get them all to level 59 and get them just enough XP that they'll level up during the league. They only need to be below the level cap when we enter the league. It's okay if they level up during it. My last order of business is to stock up on healing items to use between battles, and to sell any revives I've picked up throughout my travels. I wouldn't plan on using the revives anyway, but I'm just making sure I can't be tempted to cheat even if I wanted to. I don't think there's anything else I can do to prepare, so it's time to go in. The first Elite Four member is Aaron, the Bug-type Master. Yanmega and Vespiquen are both part flying, which makes them weak to electric, so EJ knocks both of them out, as well as Heracross with Thunder. I switch to Magneto for Scizor and Drapion, and get a quick and easy victory on the first battle. Unfortunately, I'm worried that the next battle won't be quite as easy. The second member of the Elite Four is Bertha, the Ground-type Master. Ground types have been the biggest threat to my team for this entire run. Luckily, I have a plan. While I was training in Victory Road, Magneto learned Magnet Rise, which grants immunity to Ground-type moves for 5 turns. I set up Magnet Rise before trading attacks against Bertha's Whiscash. Golem and Rhyperior come out next, and both go down quickly because Steel is super effective against Rock. TV defeats Gliscor with a combination of Confuse Ray, Ominous Wind, and Dark Pulse, and Bertha sends out her last Pokemon, Hippowdon. I use the same method that I used against Byron's Steelix. I switch back and forth between TV and Lioness to activate Intimidate enough that Hippowdon can't do much damage, and then I finish her off with Magneto. That's the second Elite Four member down. I'm feeling good as I go into the battle with Flint, as I expected Bertha would have been the toughest battle we would have to face. I lead with EJ, and a dig and some double kicks take out his Houndoom. His next Pokemon is Infernape, and I make the stupid decision to leave EJ on the field. Dig gets Infernape down to below half HP, but then he uses Earthquake, and EJ doesn't stand a chance. This is the first major loss for my team in the entire challenge. Sure, I sacked Pikachu during the battle with Candace, but no one cared about that Pikachu. EJ was actually an important part of my team. I used TV to finish off Infernape with Discharge, and then Flareon gets TV dangerously low, so Patches comes out to finish off Flareon and then Rapidash. Lioness comes out at the very end to fight Magmortar, ending the third battle of the Elite Four. We now have 5 teammates instead of 6 as we enter the battle against Lucian. He leads with Mr. Mime, who goes down pretty easily to a few bites from Lioness. Then, Magneto slowly chips away at Bronzong to knock it out. Lucian sends out Gallade, and I send out Thundercat, who paralyzes Gallade with his static ability. I send Lioness back out, who can take Gallade out thanks to the paralysis. Next out is Alakazam. I know he'll go down to a single crunch, but I also know he's faster than Lioness. I send out Magneto to paralyze Alakazam with Thunder Wave, and then switch back to Lioness, who can now take out Alakazam and Espeon. With Lucian defeated, there's only one battle left before I can declare myself a true Electric-type master. The champion battle against Cynthia. I make sure to heal up my remaining Pokemon, and use my one remaining rare candy, and I enter the final chamber. Cynthia leads with Spiritomb as I lead with Magneto. Spiritomb has no weaknesses in this game as it's before the introduction of fairy types, so I have to just brute force my way through it. I eventually take it down, but Magneto is low when Garchomp comes out. Even though I've gotten this far in the challenge while only losing 2 Pokemon, I knew that some Pokemon would have to be sacrificed during this battle, and Magneto goes down to a Dragon Rush. I send out TV, and through a combination of confusion and the low accuracy of Dragon Rush, Garchomp can't seem to land any hits as I slowly whittle her health down. Eventually, she lands a single Dragon Rush before fainting to poison damage. Next up is Lucario. TV lands a Confuse Ray before being knocked out by a super effective Shadow Ball. I send out Patches, who takes out half of Lucario's HP with a Thunder Fang, but he too faints to Lucario. At this point I'm panicking, because I only have 2 Pokemon left and Cynthia still has 4. I send out Lioness, who's able to take out Lucario with a few Thunder Fangs. Once Lucario goes down, we're in the home stretch. Cynthia's next 2 Pokemon, Togekiss and Milotic, are both weak to Electric-type attacks, so Lioness can take them out with little trouble. Her final Pokemon, Roserade, enters the battle. I use Return, which does massive damage, but Roserade survives and knocks out Lioness with a Sludge Bomb. I have no choice but to send Thundercat out. At this point, Cynthia and I are both on our last Pokemon. I select Thunder, but it misses, as Roserade goes for a Sludge Bomb that gets Thundercat into KO range. In hindsight, I don't know why I picked Thunder, as it only has 70% accuracy, but nevertheless, I do it again, and this time it hits, knocking out Roserade. Thundercat is the only Pokemon left standing as I claim my title as Sinnoh League Champion and undisputed Electric-type Master. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and all the other stuff that YouTubers are supposed to say at the end of a video. I don't know, I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing here. Also, tell me what your favorite Pokemon type is in the comments. I want to do more of these monotype challenges, and I'll decide which one to do first based on what I see requested in the comments. Anyway, have a great day!